Good morning and welcome to Face the Nation. I'm John Dickerson. Last week, a corrosive political spat broke out over the issue of respect for fallen soldiers and their families. We begin with a look at what sparked this new low in America, an October 4th attack in Niger, where 4 American soldiers, Brian Black, Jeremiah Johnson, LaDavid Johnson, and Dustin Wright, were killed when they were reportedly ambushed by Islamic State extremists. Joining us now to answer some of the questions about the attack are Michael Morell, CBS News senior national security contributor and former number 2 at the CIA, and CBS News national security correspondent David Martin. Mike, I want to start with you before we get a sense of what exactly happened. Why were U.S. servicemen there?
John, it has been U.S. policy for some time to support those nations facing a terrorist threat. One of the key pieces of that support is to train, advise, and assist local militaries. One of the places we were doing that was Niger. Niger faces a significant threat from a robust al-Qaeda group and a growing ISIS group. Both of those are located in Mali, but they come across that border and conduct attacks in Niger. Americans might ask, why were we there helping the Nigerians? And the answer is, while this is a regional threat today, it could be a threat to Europe tomorrow, and it could be a threat to the homeland the day after that. So we're there trying to keep this under control so that it doesn't become a significant threat to the United States. It's a policy that makes sense. I support it.
David, what happened in this particular case? What do we know?
Yeah, what we know is different maybe from what happened. We know that 4 American soldiers were ambushed and killed during a patrol on which no enemy contact was expected. The Pentagon says that that team of advisors had been on 29 previous patrols in the 6 months before that, never had any contact, no indication that this time would be any different. As a result, they had no drone overhead providing surveillance, and there were no armed escort aircraft overhead. Now, that version of events seems to be at odds with the fact that the UN has published a map which showed that there were 46 attacks in that part of western Niger in the past 20 months. And in fact, there was one overnight. A group of militants came across the border from Mali, attacked a police barracks, and are reported to have killed 13. So it seems like there would have been reason to expect enemy contact. So we don't understand why no enemy contact was expected.
Yeah, so a discrepancy there, Mike. Is that an intelligence failure? What do we...
We don't know. I mean, we really need the results of the investigation that General Mattis has ordered up before we know what happened. But I will tell you, in this kind of situation, intelligence is far from perfect. But we really need to know the results of the investigation.
You know, General Waldhauser, who is the commander of U.S. forces in Africa, testified last March before Congress, and he said then he had only 1/4 of the intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance flights that he needed throughout Africa. This is an operation which is just sort of starting up, and all the resources aren't in place. So we don't know if somebody missed something out there, or if there just simply weren't the aircraft and other intelligence sources operating that could have detected this.
What's the most important thing going forward, Mike?
I think it's to make sure that we don't politicize this. You know, this has the feel of Benghazi to me, right? And
in the political field, not the facts on the ground.
Exactly. So I hope we don't politicize it, and I hope we figure out what happened so that it doesn't happen again.